Sorry, it's talking a bit, but such is life. Right, this is the last bit, and it's really exciting for me. This is my own private excitement, okay? It's got nothing to do with anybody else being interested in this. But listen to the... Just forget about everything you know, okay? And just enter David's world, okay? Just for this last bit. You might think that you're entering David's world before this, and you're not. I think this is a mutual thing that we can do, okay? No, this last bit is too far for anybody, okay? And it's this. I'm going to write it on this thing, my shot, all right? This is an equation. I to the power of n, I, or 1, to the power of n, all right? That's the number of people, okay? So I invite, or decide, or choose, or whatever it is, whatever the verb is, okay? Or in fact, just MTTP. Okay, I'm going to write the first version. The first version is £10 n. That is the equation for a ha-ha. I put in £10. If there's 100 people that put in £10, that is 1,000. I'm making a decision for £1,000. 10 times 100. That equation, which is absurd in a way, because it mixes maths in a certain way, is XQ, ladies and gentlemen. I've been playing around with, I've realized that how do you mathematize social networks? And it's 1, can you imagine, to the power of however many people's in the network. And of course, 1 to the power of n is just 1. It doesn't get any bigger. It doesn't get any bigger. So when they say we are 1, literally, the maths says that. So 1 to the power, if it's just 2 of us, it's 1 to the power of 2. What's 1 to the power of 2? 1. It fits beautifully. This is beautiful. I'm not joking about this. I've thought about this in the past. These are the kind of thoughts, this is what I do. I think about things and I go, oh, that's kind of interesting, and then I put it aside. I don't go, oh, but how does it make sense? Oh, but isn't it? I don't care. The point is, I've thought about this, and that's, I'll just put it to the side for now. And at some stage in the future, you go, oh, that thought. Oh, and it fits. Okay? So, you just have to trust your intuition, all right? And 1 to the power of n, I knew some of those. You can check, XQ, somewhere in there, a post, it's like, I'll just kind of write up this little, just thought thing about groups and how do you mathematize groups in a certain way. 1 to the power of n, and then you've got the verb. Now, I don't quite know how to write that currently in terms of mathematics, but it's effectively, we're deciding, in this case, with the ha-has, we are deciding about, and in this case, it's 10 n. Because why is it 10? Because we're talking about an hour. Okay, so the £10 is the hour for the ha-ha. But actually, if you look at MTTP, so I'm just going to go a little bit further, MTTP, effectively, there's different scales. So 10 hour, that's what one of the scales. You've got 100 a day, you've got 1,000 a week, 1K a week, and so on, yeah? And that happens to be, it just so happens, because we're in Britain and £10, it just happens to fit roughly kind of our current economic ladder, i.e. how much, is reasonable. And £10 an hour is like 20k a year. £100 a day is, actually I don't know, that's 20k. I think the £10 an hour gives you 18, 17k. 100k, £100 a day gives you, I think it's 20k. 1k a week suddenly goes up to 50k. Right. Anyway, but the point is, it's interesting, right? And I called this, if you put this to the power of 10, that's 10 to the power of 1, 10 to the power of 2, 10 to the power of 3. Okay, and so this one, 10 to the power of n, similar to that, and it's not to the n, I call it mu. I don't know why, but I call it mu, but it doesn't really matter what we call it, but I'm just going to call it mu, all right? It just means that's the way that you indicate the level at which you're, the logarithmic level at which you're playing, almost, right, of the MTTP contracts. And really you have multiple contracts. So you might have somebody who invites you for, 2 or 3 people invite you for £10 an hour, or maybe 100 people do, and then there's 2 or 3 people that invite you for £100 a day, and there's like 1 person that invites you for 1k a week. because you've got these different projects that you're working on simultaneously, whatever. So you get a logarithmic income thing from all your different clients. Okay. Anyway, the mathematics means of this is that this thing, £10 to 10 times n, is not. It's mu. It's mu in some bizarre kind of way, but I can't do the maths of this. I can't. I don't understand how to write this. And actually, I've got somebody who might be able to help. Okay. How do we write this? So it's n times 10 to the mu, basically. And so because we're dealing with ha-has, that mu is equal to 1, i.e. £10 an hour. That make sense?
Yeah.
So it decides, basically it's a relationship between one person and a lot of people, i.e. 1 to the n. So it's one person, I, and also how many of us, relating to what I produce, i.e. £10, but also what the total number of, so for example, if it's 1,000 people, it would be 10k. So we have a relationship, we have an equation that equates the individual relationship, and the same statement refers to the collective.
Breathe.
That's what I woke up with. That's what I woke up with. So that's what I came up with first. I was like, that's quite nice. So I stayed awake for that. And then I thought this other thing. And then by the time I got to the third idea, I went, time to get up. Because if I go to sleep, I'll forget about all this. But this is definitely worthy enough. This is definitely coming together. So is this worth it? We've been speaking for 1 hour and 20 minutes or something or other. What do you make of that? That last bit. I mean, I know it's off the fucking charts, but...
Let's put it mildly.
Yeah, but what do you think of what I just said there? Does that, I mean, how do you, I mean, doesn't make, I mean, come on, no, your genuine response, you just go, too far, I wasn't listening, I don't understand it, I lost you, da-da-da-da. Come on, what was your listening experience then?
I know you don't like the phrase, but it grabs your attention. You know, it
did.
It pulls you in.
It did?
Yeah.
Well, that works. I wasn't trying to. No, I was just sharing. Sharing this genuine thing of this thought that occurred to me this morning, and it fits together. It really is a genuine. So you've liked that?
Yeah. You know. It works.
You think so?
I think so.
I don't know. I can't say it works. I'm like, it sounds good. It sounds beautiful.
For fuck's sake.
Ah, I'm sorry, but it does. I'm excited about it. So, because it's bringing a lot of stuff together. Right. So you liked it. So did any part of your brain go? At what point did your brain go? No, we can't do this.
Well, that's way before we came onto this. It's getting the or going to the client, the business, and getting your foot in the door and coming up with the gem.
Yes.
You know. Again, you know, it's like a baby trying to walk or learning to walk.
Yes.
You know, you've got to have the trust that it's going to run across the room without falling flat on its face.
Yes. So I'm grounding it in mathematics. Mathematics. That's why I'm just going, guys. We can either do the one with the words, which takes for fucking ever, or we go, here's the math.
But people can look at maths and go, fucking bombos.
That's okay, but there's more credibility in maths than in words. Especially if we've already got money and we're giving it to them. Now, I haven't got to that point yet, but when I do have, when we have 1,000 people playing this fucking game, we've got 10,000, we'll be able to go into fucking companies and say, we'd like a meeting with you. We're going to give you £1,000 for that meeting. That's your time, isn't it? That's how much the company's paying you, isn't it? Your company. If you can go into a thousand. Right, sorry. One other thing which I haven't kind of pointed out. I pointed out to other people, but no, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. All right. I was with a bunch of people in a social thing, and they're talking about change. Okay, and then they were going to go to the government or something or other and try to petition them. Right. How many people on petition? And they said 50. 50. Right. If you put £10 in, that's £500. £500 is equivalent to somebody getting £1 million a year. Is that correct? If somebody's got, they're getting paid by the company £1 million, it only requires 50 people, £10 per an hour to give them the same amount. I think that's okay, but probably it's only a one-off, and the company's obviously giving them. Whereas if we have enough money flow and everything else, we can also keep on giving. It might only be for this hour, but maybe we'll have another one for another hour. Or we might be able to extend that for longer. And therefore we can start inviting them, and that's what we're doing by giving them, well, if we're giving them £1,000, that means that's equivalent to 2 million. 2 million. And if they're making anything less than 2 million, if they're an executive making it, 100k a year, we are giving them 20 times how much their company is paying them for that hour. That's fucking huge. And you're saying that the executives just say no. I think that executive
yeah, come here.
Right, that's right. And then companies will start going, please come here. If you've got an idea, please come in here and give me your gems and your money and everything else. They might start exploiting us. But then again, do you see, we want genuine relationships. We're not just going to go into anybody. No, we start to choose where we go. You don't just give anything to anybody. You start saying, well, that person's really good. They were really nice. Oh, and that person, well, they're in IBM. Actually, IBM would be the right company for us. We get to choose them! Just like products. I want an IBM computer, or I produce a computer, I wanted a Mac, and so on and so forth. But we choose them as a company to be able to build things and create things. This reverses everything! So that's why I've been rabbiting on about this stuff, because everything that's related to these protocols seems to reverse everything. So I'm saying that we can ground our reality, hopefully, once we get social stuff, we'll just be having this money flow. All right, it's the money that we're actually making, and it's working, but because we don't have the money yet, and I've been trying to get people to look at the maths, because everybody else that comes back to me says, well, it's going to take a while. We're going to have to talk about this, think about this, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, for fuck's sake, look at the fucking maths. Okay, sorry, I'm a bit aggressive. But I'm saying that that's the only reason I'm doing this, is because the maths seems to indicate to me some confidence that's why I'm going forwards. If you also looked at the maths, enough for you to go, fucking hell, the maths is true, it's got fuck all to do with David. The maths is fucking valid. It means that you can find the motivation. Do you see? Not me. And that means that we don't have to sit there and motivate each other and try and get managers that motivate each other. All that kind of bollocks, okay? You're doing it because the maths is good. Oh, and there's money flow. Oh, and you've got genuine relationships with people. Oh, and you're getting to do what the fuck it is that you want to do. Yes. However, creating that is a bit tricky. Why? Because it reverses absolutely everything that we've got in our heads and what is currently going on out there. It reverses everything. However, if you fit it all together, as I seem to be fucking doing, all right, but it would be nice if other people took part, okay? And the bit that's missing, I've missed a few people, and there's a few people now that I'm going, I think we can put this together. I think we can put this together. We can, okay? And I think you can, even though you're going to do it locally and but I think we can. That's the trick of it. Can we? I don't know. But the maths, I think it's good. And the people that we know are good. I mean, these people that I've talked about, this top list, high quality. These are high, I would call these exceptional people. Exceptional people. Now, if exceptional people come together, that no longer is exception. It becomes the rule. Not that we like rules. That's why we say we're exceptional. We're all one. We're all one individual. We're all like individual, unique, and exceptional. Fine. But we're working together in a certain way, mathematically and socially, in a way which is network. And it's not we, this company. We in this company believe. No, there is no mask. We cannot say we. You can, but not in the way that most people do. Part of the company, we, and you start getting this mask. We are British, we are. I can't be fucking bothered with that. Right. So what you do is you say I. oh, I to the power of n, I to the power of I, and there's 10 of us, I, there's 1,000 of us, I, and there's 7 billion of us. This is good. Sorry, I got excited again. I should apologise for it. I would like to do this in a way which is really pleasant and nice and gentle, but right now it comes out with a lot of pressure. Like a geyser. Like a geyser. Gushes out, sorry. Right. I kind of feel like at the end of that, with kids and stuff, I can go, do I go potty like that? Not as much. But what happens is that the kids go potty. The kids go fucking nuts in my class. I mean, fucking nuts. But like, with a lot of fun and a lot of energy, and we get so much done. But because of this situation, I end up going fucking nuts. And everybody just going, really? Okay, so that's my problem, and that's why this doesn't work. This doesn't work. This thing, although I'm talking about it, hasn't worked, and I know that, and I'm failing in some way because, as I say, I haven't. It's not working. Once this starts working, I'll be able to go to places, and so will you, and do your. Well, actually, you've got naturally to say your thing, do your thing, and be natural.
Yeah, that I'm a natural.
You are a natural. You've got it natural. You've got a natural way, all right, and that has been treated quite badly. And I say, you know, and it's usually used for sales and all this kind of stuff. Whereas I say, no, forget about that. Just be a natural thing. We've got the maths, we've got the money now. Just go and do a natural thing, baby. You know, connect to people that you go, oh, this person seems genuine. Do they seem genuine? I think they're genuine. There, I trust you. I trust your call on this guy. Yeah. Okay, which means that hopefully you will supply me with things I need, whether it happens to be connected with people, services, or products, or whatever the fuck it is. You are helping me get on with my life. I'm helping you, and we're helping each other. And that's how this works. And we have an accounting system, I think, to tabulate all that. Right. What do you think? If this conversation was happening, all right, and it did happen, all right, what value did this conversation have? 0 to 10. Think of a number. What value? 0 to 10. Think of a number. 0 to 10. Nobody's watching this whole thing, okay? So nobody's ever going to get to this bit. But, all right, okay, let's go for 1201. Let's say this is called subjective enumeration, all right? And I should be tracking this as I did with my first experiment last year, but I haven't. So, you can't do everything. Subjective enumeration. What number? 0 to 10. Have you thought of a number?
I have.
Okay, I will also think of a number. You see, I get too excited. Okay, I've got a number. What number do you got?
I've got 7. Because we sat down, we explained things, we've talked through things, we've discussed each other's problems. You've explained how things work, how they could work, what we need to do. The ball is rolling.
The ball is rolling. I came up with 6.
You came up with 6.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I talk too much. I got it to a 10 there. I got to a 10. I was like, I think I got to a 10. Well, I don't know if anybody else did. Right. I haven't worked out what the subjective enumeration. So far, what happens is when you get your equal share, okay, whatever we produce, you get your equal share. It's distributed by the subjective enumeration. Because the differential between us is you said 7 and I said 6. Currently, what should happen is that you're valuing kind of our interaction more than I am, which means that the money flow should go my way with the current thinking. Because what happens is if you say 10, you're saying, I'm a 10, and therefore the money goes your way. No. If the money was going your way, and you were enumerating it for the money that comes your way, do you see?
Yeah.
Right. And I didn't on purposely say 10. Do you see? There's like a play there. There's a weird thing about, sorry, what are you evaluating subjective enumeration, and which way does the money go? And it's a bit tricky. Are you evaluating the person, us, or me? Yourself. So when you said 7, I think you were saying us, and I was saying 6, and because I've had that complexity, I've thought about this. I've done this a few times, and honestly, try doing it. After a while, it starts baking your brain. All right, but still, it's just a simple calculation, just one number. Like, crikey, it's kind of tricky. All right, and so which way does the money go? And so if people are thinking selfishly, they should evaluate lowly. But that means that when you have an engagement with somebody, you go, oh, that was really good, and they said 2. Even though they went, oh, and they contributed really well, and then they say 2, you go, why are you evaluating? Exactly, and that's why you don't invite them again. Because you've had a really good engagement, and then they've said 2, and you're like, no, I produced fucking amazing results for you, okay? How the fuck do you think that was a 2? No, I think it was fucking really good. Da, 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 da. And that's why I said it was a 7. Da, da, da. And I said, you don't invite them again. But if they're honest, if their subjective enumeration seems to be valid and genuine for them, and the higher it is, it means the more is going to be given away. The more is given away. So the higher you evaluate your experience, the more money you are effectively giving away. Okay, for me it sounds good. Other people will go, wait a minute, I want more money. Don't worry. If you keep on producing value for other people, they keep on evaluating things highly, you will end up with more money. It's like a competition. And you're like, how much can you give? Oh, got excited again. Right, okay, it's enough. Woof, nobody's going to look at this thing. But, okay, right. Right, I'll put that time code at 11:02. No other time codes for this, thank you very much. And then a mystery it will happen at 11:10. So look at mine though. Well, scribbles, but I'm going to just type that in, and that's good enough. And that means that all it's done. Do you see? We just had a conversation. No, blah, 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 no reports, nada. It's done.
Right, on this note, we'll
Yeah, cool. Right then, I'll just record a bit of an end here, if you don't mind.
Yep.
Alright, so I got a bit excited there. That's what happens when I get, by myself, I can't get that excited. But when I kind of talk with other people, sometimes I get a bit animated. And if I'm listening, which is even better, it's when I'm actually listening to other people and they come up with an idea. And I'm sensitive to pick it up and be responsive to it. So I was listening to Dante yesterday, and there was a lot of stuff. I was actually a little bit, I wouldn't say frustrated, because Dante was saying a lot of things that I resonated with, and I wanted to share stuff with him. And I couldn't quite. I did a little bit, but I know that if I shared too much, he'd end up orbiting and aligning to what I'm talking about. And that's not the objective. The objective is that I align to Dante, and I fulfill Dante's objective. That's my job over this next month. And hopefully Dante will see this, and everybody else that's working with me realize that's what I do. I align to people and fulfill their objectives. Whatever it is that they're trying to do, I'm going to help them. That's what I do. I don't have to know what they're doing. I have to have some kind of idea, and hopefully they'll inform me a little bit more, and they can tell me a little bit more about what I should be doing or not. But I just trust, and I just try to fulfill whatever it is that they're doing, even though I don't know what it is. It's like transitive trust. It's like a very extreme form of transitive trust. Now, if that's too much, that's too much. However, people have been named and honoured in this video, and I think we can pull this together. And the scale of change that we will introduce globally will depend very much on who is listening to this, how you listen to this, and how and what you do, basically. I think it's possible. I think it might be possible for us to hit. Oh, there was another exceptional person who I spoke to recently. It was, well, Willie is exceptional. Anna, although I haven't had a huge amount of engagement with them. Erin, Cynthia, that was it. Cynthia Le Group, exceptional as well. If we can get our act together, if we pull our resources at this time of period, if we all, for example, went all in, if we just went all in this month, this will be like the beginning of something bigger than Apple computer. This will be bigger than the HTTP and the internet. Okay, honestly. If we go, some people put in their effort, some other people won't, it means that we won't have probably the missing pieces, and it won't be able to scale, and we won't be able to have the relationships, and so it'll take longer basically until those pieces, those elements find themselves here. So It's up to us, basically. It's up to us. Can't make it clearer than that. Cool. Yeah, definitely about global unity.